Welcome to Flicks No Critics, so don't come for me and my reviews. Okay, carry on. It is on Netflix and it came out yesterday. And yes, I did watch it. Finally, I caught something that came out like literally the day after. So, yeah, this was good. This was really, really good. It's a movie, like 2 hours long, but this was good. In the beginning, it's like, oh, who killed these people, right? I don't know. He's kind of like blurry. And then it's like, oh, a couple who's expecting a kid and working and he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. And then it's like, oh, he's getting ready to be ran around like a rag doll because he's trying to be Mr. Captain and save everybody in the airport, right? So, story time. Spoiler alert, but story time. The guy at the very bottom of the screen, he is pretty much he's a guy who doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, but he has a killer in the way, so he's trying to figure it out. And his girlfriend's trying to push him a little bit further to, do better for himself. So the day of work, Christmas Eve, at the airport, he decides to ask for like a promotion, a raise, or all that and above. His friends end up giving him his spot at the scanners, and that's how he ended up in the predicament that he's in, which is pretty much trying to save everyone's life, So he's at the scanner. The guy who is in his ear now because some lady dropped off an earbud for him and he put it in his ear, which is nasty, whatever. And so the guy was telling him what to do. He was like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And of course, being the idiot that he is, he did it all. He got his cop buddy killed in like the very beginning because he was trying to save everybody. It was a clever idea, but he tried to save everybody. So anyways, there's a bad guy and the bad guy's at the top, right? And the bad guy at the top, he has one job to do, and it's to get the suitcase on a plane. That's his job. That's all. He doesn't care about anybody else but getting paid. I respect it. But anyways, he is telling the guy at the very bottom of the screen, he's like, yeah, you need to do this. I need you to let my guy through with this bag and don't do anything. That's it. You don't have to do anything. The bag finally comes through. He looks at the little scanner thing and he's like, this is insane. What is this liquid that's in here that's telling me that it's unidentifiable? And what is this big old timer thing? Like, I have no idea. So he's like, the guy in his ear can literally see everything. And him being an idiot, like, tried to call the police, like, tried to text on his Apple Watch. And it's like, bro, if he saw you the first time, what makes you think he's not going to see you the 18 next times that you try and do something, right? Okay, whatever. So, long story short, the guy in the top of the screen, he ends up getting on the plane that has the toxins that needs to be because he was like kind of doing a version. And so he thought everything ahead. So he pretty much caused all the commotion and them shutting down a terminal that he was not even going to board the plane on for him to get onto another plane, another terminal without everybody like stopping and following him. But the guy on the bottom, he's also trying to, save his girlfriend who's also working at the airport, who has a sniper on her at all times. So he's trying to do the most, and he's trying also to not kill the 250 people, I believe, that was going to be on the plane, but also not the 10,000 that's in LAX on Christmas Eve. And so he's like, let me work with you. I got it. Don't worry about it. I will do whatever you need me to do. The guy in the very top was like, no, we're not going to do that because I don't trust you, right? But I need you to disarm this. I need you to disarm the little toxin. It's a neuroparalytic that's going to be like spread out through all the air ducts and pretty much kill everybody from the inside out. That's the plan. He told him the plan literally flat out, which is kind of, bold and brazen. I kind of like that. Like, yeah, just tell me what's going on. So anyways, the guy at the bottom, he's a little timid, a little shy, and he's annoying because he's like, I don't understand. I want to save my girlfriend Nora, but yet and still I'm going to try and do everything you told me not to do. So he ends up getting shot. He ends up almost getting shot. He ends up getting his boss killed because he couldn't shoot his boss. So the guy that brought the bag through the scanner, who's also being manipulated by the guy in the suitcase, in the hat, right? He's like, I had to kill your boss. I'm sorry because they got my husband outside and I don't want my husband to die. Whatever. So then after that, they're downstairs, like underneath the very, very bottom of the terminal. And the guy who was supposed to bring the bag onto the plane, who's killed the boss, he's trying to kill him now. The guy on the screen. He's like, look, the guy in the ear, he told me to kill you. So they're fighting. But the guy in the bottom of the screen, his name's Kopek or Kochek or something like that. I'm not really good remembering names, but I'm going to call him Kopek. So he actually was trying to tell him, like, you know, you need to stop shooting, because the guy with the hat was like, if you keep shooting, the whole thing, it's a plastic gun. Of course, he's in LAX. He can't carry a real one. Like, it's going to melt in your hand. It's going to backfire. You're like going to get shards everywhere. So he was trying to tell him, like, bro, don't stop shooting. Anyways, he ends up dying because he doesn't listen. So his husband's still outside, doesn't know that he's dead yet. So anyways, he's like, I got to figure out a way to save everybody. Parallel to this, there's a whole cop, bigger than a cop, but a whole cop trying to solve this case too, because she gets she uncovers a wiretap, ATF wiretap, on the people that died in the beginning. And they were like Russians or whatever. And so, being said that, she's like, okay, so something's going down at LAX. I need to figure it out. There's a guy that showed up at the police department. We're going to call the police department. And he's like, yeah, you know what? I'll go with you. I think he's like FBI, CIA, DEA, ATF, all them people. He's one of those. So while she's on the phone in the car with him, her friend who works with her was like, yeah, no, like, the agent is on its way. And she figures out, oh, this is not the guy. So they ended up having like a whole Deadpool kind of scene, and the flipping and the slow and the bopping and the turning, like, you know, the pull it little thing. Because why is the car doing all this stuff and not hitting nothing? I don't understand. It finally flipped. He tried to choke her out while they upside down, but she ends up pew pew, and he was gone, right? So after that, she get out. She's like, she's rushing to LAX. She finally get to LAX, and then she's like, I need to find Kopech because he knows everything, and he got the bomb. So she finds him, and they find each other or whatever, and he like kind of like deck her, because he's like, no, I need to go save my girlfriend, you in the way. So he's like, I got to figure out a way to save everybody. He figures out the plane that they're going to be on. He runs and tells his girlfriend, like, go tell the cop, don't ground the plane, because that's her plan. You know, she wants to ground the plane, try to figure out where the guy is, get him off the plane. He told his girlfriend to tell her, don't let her do that, because he's going to set it off anyway, like the toxin. He already said he would. He just trying to kill 250 people. He's not trying to kill 10,000, just 250. So she's like, she finally listens after forever. You would think if somebody is decking me and running around trying to save my girlfriend, that you would listen to him and not, like, you know, question it, but whatever. So anyway, she grounds the plane. He ends up going underneath the cargo hold and disarming the neurotoxin that's carrying on board or whatever. And so come to find out, the guy that has the baseball cap, he's on the same plane, but he's going downstairs too to also manually put it on, because he's disarming it with his parachute on, because he was getting ready to jump out the plane. That was that serious. Okay. So the guy at the bottom, Kopech, he's like, I got to outsmart him somehow. So since he knew how to disarm it, because he did it before in the airport, because the guy in the hat told him how to, he did it in the bottom of the plane. He took it out, and then he threw it in like this little vacuum sealed refrigerator thing that the plane had down there. And so he threw it in there, and he pushed the bad guy in there too. And then the bad guy's like fooling around with it, opens it. So then Kopech closes the door, and he pretty much dies how he said everybody else was going to die, inside out, right? And so, long story short, kind of long, sorry. Kopech saves the day. He gets off the plane, and, you know, everybody's like, get on your knees, get on the ground, get on your knees, hands up, get on the face. Like, I don't know what to do. There's too many of y'all telling me too many different things. But he lays down on the ground. He's like, I'm not the guy. Finally, the cop comes, like, let him go. And then he tells her, like, yeah, he inside, along with the toxin, and you need to get everybody off the plane. Side note, not sure if the government's trying to tell us something, as they normally do in these movies, but I don't know if the AIC got something to do with this, because they was all over. Whoo, child. But anyways, this was a great movie. It had like the element of like thriller, suspense, action, comedy. It had like dry humor, witty humor. This was really good. I haven't seen a movie like this in a very long time. It kept me captivated the entire time, and it filled pretty much all the holes that my brain could probably like think of. So I was grateful. Pretty much the Kopech, he wanted to be a cop. At the end, he finally becomes a cop. His girlfriend's pregnant, and so they have a baby, and so they finally, you know, go on vacation and all this stuff. So it ended great. So I absolutely loved it. It was a whole, like, it came in a complete circle, which I loved. But anyways, if you have any questions, let me know.